From that, experts in the field of diplomacy wants the incoming administration to consider policy formulation that would enhance Nigeria's image and impact the lives of citizens at home and in the diaspora. Moyo Thomas has more.
Africa has always been the centerpiece of Nigeria's foreign policy. Since Nigeria attained its independence in 1960, its focus has been on the liberation and entrenchment of democracy in other African countries, especially the Southern Africa. The positive strides these brought about earned Nigeria the toga giant of Africa, not just because of its population size, but the weight it wields in the international arena.
Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa went to the United Nations, the annual conclave, and issued what it was our foreign policy agenda, which was non-alignment, and also that Africa was going to be the centerpiece. The non-alignment posture was that we were not interested in anybody's territory and we would act as such. However, that we are going to work hard to make sure that every inch of Africa is freed from oppression and foreign domination. However, with the dwindling fortunes, we began also to take a new turn, a new definition in our foreign policy. But Africa has always remained one.
But the changing domestic situation has taken the shine out of the laudable heights Nigeria had once risen to and how it was considered in the global community.
Nigeria has had glorious moments, internationally. But now, many things are going wrong in terms of do I call it a dwindling clout? Our stature.
We were so focused on the liberation of Africa, Southern Africa, to be mentioned, Angola, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and then the big one, South Africa, that after the liberation of South Africa in 1994, we seem to have lost focus of what our foreign policy should be.
A lecturer at the University of Abuja, Dr. Monday Ekwe, believes the incoming administration of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu must, as a matter of urgency, build up the country's internal capacity, as that is what will revive Nigeria's dwindling recognition in the global community. Ambassador Ode, on the other hand, says a recognition of the dynamic international arena and shuttle diplomacy is important.
You really cannot wield any influence outside beyond your capacity, beyond your domestic capacity. All right? Nations that wield so much influence, internationally, you look at key factors at home. One, maybe the economy, how the nation fares in terms of capacity, economic capacity.
Hope that President Tinubu will formulate policies that will get Nigeria out of the insecurity that we find ourselves today. The inflow of light arms and small weapons come in through our land borders, and we have to engage our immediate neighbors in shuttle diplomacy. And like we recommended for Buhari when he came in, I think he has to do a shuttle diplomacy to these countries that border us immediately, all francophone, and thank them for the cooperation we have obtained from them so far. We are expecting more.
There is no overemphasizing the important role Nigeria plays in Africa, and it must take its position as a world order, especially with the abundant human and capital resources the continent is blessed with. Nigeria only needs to wake up and take the lead in helping Africa achieve this. A whole lot of this rests on the leadership of Nigeria, the policies it churns out, and the implementation of such policies. Moyo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.